Well, how you doing? This is Bob from Akana Odyssey, and today I want to continue to do things a little bit different. For quite a while, I just read cards on my channel, but now I want to get different things that I have learned over the years, and I would like to share them with you, some of them. And of course, a lot of this we'll do in our shop also if you decide you want to come and see us. So, today we're going to look at the palm of our hand. Now, when we look at the palm of our hand today, there's going to be different videos, but today we're going to look at whether or not you had any magical abilities in your past life and whether or not you have magical abilities in this life. Now, you have to understand, this doesn't mean 100% that you do not have magical abilities now, but it helps to see. For instance, there's something on your hand which is called the Mystic Cross. Now, the Mystic Cross, I'll show you quickly on my hand here, is right here. This is our heart line, and this is our headline. Now, in between the headline and the heart line, right there, if you look, you'll see whether or not there is a cross or an X. Now, if there is a cross or an X in that spot, there is a possibility that in a past life you had something to do with magic, whether it was being a witch or whether it was a mage or a wizard or whatever, something of that sort, if you have that X. Now, of course, the X doesn't have to be right exactly where I showed you, but anywhere in between those two lines, your heart line and your head line. Now, if you have the X there again, I will tell you that that is the mystical cross, and it shows that there's a possibility of that. Now, each finger is a planet, as you can see here. See? Okay? Now, this finger, the pointer finger, is Jupiter. The middle finger is Saturn. The ring finger is the Sun, and the pinky finger, of course, is Mercury. Now, again, there's going to be a lot more things I'm going to tell you about the palm, but that'll be in other videos. Now, what you want to look for is an X, also here at the root of the fingers, someplace. And you want to correspond it to the finger that you know that is underneath it. For instance, if it's under Jupiter, which is, again, your pointer finger, it would show that you are blessed by Jupiter. And you will be blessed with the abilities to learn magic and stuff of this sort with the blessings of Jupiter, and the luck of Jupiter. If it is under the Saturn finger, the Saturn finger is, Saturn is the planet of the witches. Now, also, it's good luck. And it shows that you will learn magic as you go along through trials and tribulations, things that happen in your life. Now, of course, this is all providing that you're interested in magic and you want to learn to do different things in metaphysical wise. Me, that's my life, and I enjoy it very much. If it's the middle finger, it's the Sun finger. The Sun finger shows that you've been blessed by Apollo. And also you would have the ability to learn magic and stuff of this sort, with, of course, the blessings of Apollo. If it's under the pinky finger is Mercury, and that would show that you were blessed by Hermes, which shows that you have a tremendous ability to learn magic, and that somewhere in your life you have come across it already. But you have the ability to do that. Now, each one of these stars, or I should say, or crosses that are underneath each finger, they all come to the same thing, sort of, where it's learning or having the ability and the talent to learn magic in one way or another. So it's very interesting, but you have to look for these crosses under each finger. Now, also underneath the pinky finger, here, right there, if you look at that and there is lines there, that line would show the mark of a healer, depending on how many lines, how much. In other words, how much How much ability do you have to learn how to be a healer? Because even though you have the marks, if you do not practice and believe, you're not going to do anything, whether or not you have the marks or not. But the marks show that you have the ability to be a great healer. Now, the more marks, the better it is, of course. But it gives you a head start in learning, because you do have everything it takes to learn that. Now, right here at the palm of the hand, underneath the mount of the the mount of the moon, if you have marks also, it shows astral travel as well. You know, witches and psychics and mediums do a lot of traveling in that respect. Mediums, of course, they do speak to the dead, and empaths the same thing. So if you have marks there, you have that ability. Now, that is not to say that if you have no marks, you have no ability. That's not that. What it says is that these are everything it takes for you to be able to do magic, and that in the past life, you have been involved in magic in some way or another. This is what this is telling you. Also, again, you have your heart line, which is the top line. You have your head line, which is underneath that. And then you have a line that runs right up like this. Now, that line, even if it starts here or here, it doesn't really matter where it starts. As long as it ends at Saturn. This is called the destiny line, or the faith line. Destiny line, I would say. I call it. At any rate, now as that line goes up, if it goes straight up, there's not a problem. Everything is going to go straight in your life. Basically the way maybe you plan it, or things will just be steady for you in that respect. Now, when it's broken, this is when there's changes come to your life in some way or another. For instance, when we look here, now as this runs up, in this area around here, as you know, maybe in your 20s, as it goes up, it's about 30s. When it hits this line here, which is your headline, and past it's 40. When it goes past that, it's 50. And then this is in the 60s, and it goes up to the ring finger here, the crease of the finger, it's in the 80s. Now, when it's broken here, for instance, that would mean that you're going to have a change sometime, maybe late 30s, early 50s, early 40s. There's going to be changes in your life. Whether or not it is changing the way of life, or changing careers, or something of that sort, but you will have change for sure. Now, as it travels up, if it's still broken when it passes the line of 50, the same thing. Now, and then it's going to get into the 60s. And sometimes it's broken in the 60s and split. If it's split, of course, again, there will be a nice ride in your 60s. But remember, it must stop at Saturn, and Saturn is the middle finger. It must stop there. If it doesn't go there and stop there, it is not the destiny line. In other words, the line starts anywhere and ends up on the Sun or Jupiter or Mercury, it is not the destiny line. Now, there's another line which I don't have on here, but in that line, I'm going to show you my hand, it'll be easier. In that line, right in this area here, you might have something like this, like a half moon sort of come around. That sometimes indicates that there was something in a past life that wasn't completed. And possibly you're going to meet a soulmate or whatever, and you're going to complete that, or you should complete that. So a lot of times people have that. Not everybody has it, but you can. Now, the faith line, or the destiny line, tells you quite a bit about how your life goes along. Your lifeline is a little different. I want you to know your lifeline does not really have anything to do with how long you live or anything of that sort. It is the quality of your life, of how much energy is going to be in your life. And I'm not going to go 100% into that, because I do want to be able to do that in another video. But here, I'll just show you. Here's your heart line. And you see it has a break in it, right there. Now, if your heart line has a break in it, that normally would tell you at a certain time in your life you can be ill, or you can have an accident. You have to be aware of that. For instance, I have a break in mine, and mine was later on in my life. I'm a little bit older, and I did have some problems in my health. It was broken there, and on my Destiny line, I had quite a few changes as well, and I want to tell you, those changes positively happened. I mean, now I'm much older than 50, of course, and older than 60, and I had things that changed tremendously in my 30s and 40s, and especially towards the end of my 40s, that really changed. So these lines were broken, and so they are telling the truth. They're pretty much set in stone. When these things happen, it happens. Now, it might be a change, again, of just a quality of life or something of this sort, but the change will be there. So, again, quickly I'll just go over this because it's not too much of a thing. When you look at your hand, look for the mystic cross in between the headline and the heart line. These crosses are called the psychic cross. Those little lines. Those little crosses. So those are what you want to look for and see what finger it goes under. Now, some people might have more than one cross under, on different fingers. It would just show a blessing of a combination of gods, which happens. I myself have been tremendously blessed by the gods. I can tell you right now, they have taken care of me tremendously, and I have more than one cross on my hand here, and I have here right in the middle. I have definitely the mystic cross, nice and deep and big. So look for that in your hand, and I hope you enjoy this. And afterwards, we're going to talk about other things. We're going to talk more about your lifeline, your destiny line, your headline, and your heart line. We're going to stay in that area. And of course, again, I want to tell you, we do this at our shop as well. We also do, as you know, egg cleansing, so cleansing period. And then we have all kinds of cleansing baths and stuff of this sort so that you can really cleanse yourself well. We do healings. We do healings with the hands. I am a Reiki master, but I also do another form of healing with my hands. And it's very interesting, and it would be great for you to see. Even if you are yourself a Reiki master, come and see me. I would like to show you this thing I do with your crown chakra and your third eye chakra. It's very different, and it gives a really nice result. It gives a beautiful feeling when you get up and you're done with it. So come and see us. Of course, we do read cards. We have lots of things that we can sell you to help you in every direction of your life. Stones and jewelry and candles and different things. So, again, contact me if you're interested in any of this. You can contact me on my Facebook page or right here. You can leave a message here or a comment underneath this here, and I hope that you do subscribe to this channel. Hopefully you will, and like the channel. Give me a couple likes. I would love that. That would be magnificent. So I hope you enjoyed this, and we will see you soon. Namaste and blessed be.